All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to talk about the single most important idea in all of economics. Seriously. It's the concept that explains, well, pretty much everything. Why governments make the choices they do, why businesses run the way they do, and why you, personally, can't have everything you want.
So, it all boils down to this one simple question. Why can't we have it all? I mean, really think about it. Have you ever wished you had more time, more money, or more of, well, just about anything? Of course you have. That feeling, right there, is the starting point for this entire explainer.
And here's the core conflict at the heart of it all. On one side, you've got our wants, which, let's be honest, are basically endless, right? We always want better food, newer gadgets, more vacations. But on the other side, the resources we need to get those things, time, money, raw materials, are finite. They're limited.
So, this huge gap between our unlimited wants and our limited resources, it has a name: scarcity. And listen, scarcity isn't just about being poor. Not at all. It affects every single person, every company, and every country on Earth. It is the fundamental economic problem. So, because of scarcity, we're all forced to do something we do literally all day, every single day: make choices. If we can't have everything, then we have to decide what we want most. And this isn't just a personal thing, it's something entire societies have to grapple with. And that's what economists call the problem of choice. It's simply the direct result of scarcity. It's the constant challenge of figuring out our priorities and choosing which of our many wants are the most essential to satisfy with the limited resources we actually have.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting. It turns out that every single economy on the planet, no matter how it's structured, solves this problem of choice by asking three basic universal questions. What should we produce? How should we produce it? And who gets what we produce? Okay, let's tackle that first one: what to produce. This is all about society deciding on its collective priorities. With all the things we could make, what are the goods and services that are most important for us to create right now? The classic textbook example is the trade-off between guns and butter. Think about it. Should a country use its steel, its labor, and its factories to build up a strong military for defense? Or should it use those same resources to grow more food to make sure its population is well fed? You can't do both to the max. A choice has to be made. And this choice pops up everywhere. Should an economy prioritize making capital goods, things like heavy machinery and tools that will help us produce more stuff in the future? Or should we focus on consumer goods, like smartphones and clothes, for our immediate satisfaction today? All right, so once he figured out what to make, the next logical question is, how do we produce it? This is all about choosing the right technology and the right technique for the job. And you can really boil it down to two main approaches. You can go labor-intensive, which means you're relying mostly on people, on human workers. Or you can go capital-intensive, which means you're relying more on machines and technology. And this choice isn't just random. It all comes down to what resources are most available and what they cost. So, for example, a country with a huge, low-cost workforce might lean towards handloom weaving. That's a very labor-intensive method. But a country with advanced tech and high wages, they'd almost certainly choose power looms, a capital-intensive method that just makes more sense. And that brings us to our final question. And honestly, this might be the most complicated one of all. After we've made all this stuff, who actually gets it? For whom do we produce? This is all about distribution. Because here's the cold, hard truth of it all. Thanks to scarcity, an economy simply cannot produce enough to satisfy every single want for every single person. It's just impossible. So tough choices have to be made about who gets what. This means every society has to decide how it's going to slice up the economic pie. What portion of everything we make goes to the poor? What about the middle class? What about the rich? The way a society answers this question really defines its character. Now, it's really crucial to understand that these three questions, what, how, and for whom, they aren't some test you take once and then you're done. No way. They represent a constant, never-ending problem that every single economy has to wrestle with, day in and day out. When you get right down to it, everything we've covered, scarcity, choice, and those three big questions, it all comes back to this one idea. Deciding how to use our limited resources and how to divvy up the stuff we create, those are the central problems of any economy. That pretty much says it all. So I'll leave you with this to chew on. Just look around you. Look at the country you live in, the company you work for, even how you manage your own money.
How are these three fundamental questions, what to produce, how to produce it, and for whom, being answered all around you every single day?